That's why I was saying I need to be isolated because I'm constantly, for years, constantly have difficult people around. And it's always something going on. You're never going to have time to heal from because somebody is always up under you. Here I come. Now you got to deal with me. I'm sick of fucking people. I'm tired of it. I've been going through shit for too damn long. I mean, I look on my videos on YouTube and how I talk that and I look at my face and all I see is a person who's been traumatized. That's all I see. Traumatized. All his fucking life he's been treated like shit. All of his goddamn life. I'm made a certain way. I'm made a certain way. Once you fuck over me, once DA say fuck you, I mean fuck you forever. Period. And the only way that's going to change, a strong spiritual force is going to have to hit me. And even when that happens, motherfuckers don't want to speak on some of the shit that they did, and so you still conflicted because motherfuckers they just won't say they fucking sorry. They just won't say that shit. They just won't let you heal. You bring shit up. Look, you did this to me. Are you gonna at least say you fucking sorry? Or is it that you just gonna just move on? Like I'm still fuck people. That's why I say folks need to stay the fuck away from me. That's why I need to isolate myself for a long time, and I just don't want to fucking be bothered because I may snap on somebody. Because folks always talking about I'm the one holding on to the past. I'm not holding on to the past. I've been trying to resolve the past for years. It's people who don't want to talk about what the fuck they did. That's them holding on to the past. That's not me. Own up to your bullshit so we can get past this. But people don't want to do it because they can't look at themselves. And simply because they can't look at themselves, they can take it to the grave ass nigga. But everybody's still smiling in your face like you're supposed to do something for their ass. And then you conflicted because you feel like you should, but you can't because of so many unresolved matters. And people think that you're supposed to swallow all the bullshit they done put you through and just keep moving forward. But as soon as you bring it up, oh, he holding on to the past. Y'all trip, mama. All of y'all full of shit. And I never done anything to discredit y'all. I never did anything to dishonor y'all. When I got caught stealing them shoes, and when I saw you cry, that broke my fucking heart. I'm like, damn, I will never in my life steal anything else. Because the last person on this earth I want to make cry, I was telling Bernard and them about that. I ain't ashamed. Because I told them, I said, the last person on this earth that I want to make cry is my mother. I said, I will never in my life steal anything again. I don't give a damn, nigga. I will walk to school barefoot in the fucking wintertime before I make my mama cry. I straightened up when I saw that shit. But it's a whole lot of shit that y'all did to me, mama, that y'all won't speak on. I mean, that's just like when you threw that footage of Deshaun in the trash. For what? Because I wouldn't give you $50 fucking while you was married to some nigga? And until this day, you won't speak on that shit. But as soon as I try to get y'all to, hey, let's talk about that shit, why did you do that? I'm holding on to the past, or you go silent altogether. Y'all will not open up y'all mouth and say shit to me, not you, Daddy, or BB. And then you wonder why I'm so conflicted when it comes to y'all. And everybody all up in my face want me to do something now. And I'm at a point I don't fucking want to be bothered with nobody. I just want to isolate myself just so I can heal from all this shit. I mean, I couldn't even go to Georgia. With good intentions. Shit, I didn't go up there. I didn't go out there because I want to fuck a whole lot of black women. I went out there so I can get married, settle my life down. Blew up in my face. Fuck it. I ain't even gonna worry about it no more.
As my YouTube video description, it reads, and I'm going to read it to you. I'm all about inner growth and healing, and I share my journey with the world without limits. When it truly comes to it, growth and healing is the only true resolve for the entire world. Hurting and healing is one movement. Okay. With that being said, what you just heard was a phone conversation. As a matter of fact, the last conversation that I had with my mother. My mother wants to move out here to Las Vegas with me. I'm the type of person, people can say I'm stubborn, people can say whatever they want, you know, but the whole thing is, before I can go move forward with somebody, we have to sit and discuss what happened, which caused us a lot of pain in order for us to be able to move forward. I'm not the type of human being that's going to sit back and act as though nothing transpired back in the past that needs to be resolved. I mean, that's just like a person walking around, like I was saying in one of my previous videos, walking around who was hurt and they're bleeding on the inside, and no one, including themselves, is trying their hardest with honest effort to try to attend to the bleeding wound. As I said before, you have to talk things out and you have to ask questions, and so that you can come to an understanding of why, even if this person doesn't really have any logical reason why, at least let me know that. I don't know why I did that. Or I could tell you, hey, you know, someone asked you, why did you do that? And even if this person doesn't have a objective answer to give you, at least they put forth an effort. But to act as though nothing happened, and though every time you try to talk to them about these issues, they either try to deflect, change the subject, or, as my mother does all the time, just go totally silent, like she's not going to talk about it. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm getting old. I'm tired of living where I'm living. I'm sick of this condition that I put myself in. And what you're going to do, you're going to rescue me. That's not the type of human being I am. Now, a whole lot of people may say, well, that's your mom and this and that and the other thing. Okay, that's fine. I understand that. But this is me we're talking about. Okay? It's me. You know? And so I'm the type of human being to where unless we talk about it and we resolve it, we're not going to move forward. And once I get to the point to where I'm unwilling to move forward with you, I let you go and I move forward for the sake of my own sanity and therefore peace of mind. And I will leave you where you are. That's the type of human being I am. Now, most people may say, well, that's cold. Well, as I said before, I live my life in a way that is very transparent. I don't have anything to hide. I don't have anything to hide. Now, with that being said, it only means one thing. I don't care what you think. I don't care how you feel. You know, I feel as though the life that I've lived is not a life that is unique. I feel as though what I have to talk about, a lot of people have experienced it. It's just that a lot of people are just not willing to talk about it, or a lot of people really don't know how to approach the issue. And primarily, especially in these times, a lot of people are far more too concerned about how other people are going to see them, how other people are going to feel about them, and how other people and what other people are going to say of them. I am not the type of person who cares about those things, because when I talk about specific issues, I put everything on the table. I'm not concerned about how it makes me. I'm not concerned about a whole lot of things that you're going to say and how you're going to feel about it. My primary concern is reaching the people who are suffering these type of things and trying to help them understand exactly what I feel that they need to do in order for them to gain peace in their lives. And when you're dealing with the parent issue, and when you're dealing with parents who are narcissists and parents who are just not going to face the issues and therefore feel as though they haven't done anything wrong, when you're giving them the opportunity to look, let's get together, let's resolve this matter. I don't have a problem with moving forward with you, but there's some things that we need to talk about. And if you're not willing to talk about these things, then you go your way and I will go mine. And that's just the issue. Now, I'm getting ready to go into some things, but I just wanted to put this short entrance into this issue that I'm getting ready to cover, that is very sensitive. And it's some people who don't really like talking about these type of things. But as I said before, I'm not concerned about those type of people. There are a lot of people out here who have parents that are abusive, psychologically abusive, and emotionally abusive to their children. And it really doesn't matter how old their children are. Because these parents are now they're older, and their organisms are pretty much on their way out. And so it just seems like the children who they disregarded, ignored, neglect, and abused, it seems like those are the children that they are always reaching out to when they're just about on their way out of here. Now, the children who put them through hell, the ones that they have favored beyond everyone else, they look around and those family members are nowhere to be found. They're nowhere to be found. But one of the reasons why these parents are reaching out to the one who they abuse mostly is because these parents know that you have a good heart. And so now that they're on their way out and they need help, instead of them appreciating how good your heart was back in the past to establish a condition right now to where you would be willing to reach out and help them because of their abuse, you're not willing to help them at all. But you're giving them the opportunity. Look, if you want my help, then let's talk about these certain things. I need to know why you did certain things. I need to know why you said certain things. But then when you have parents out here who feel as though they don't owe you an explanation for anything that they've done, but yet and still they just sit there, you gonna take care of me too. No, absolutely not. Until we resolve these issues, I have nothing to say to you. We have nothing to talk about. And so that is the issue. And those are the people who I'm talking about this for. Now, if you can't relate to this, kick rocks. And that's just my attitude. But the whole thing is, there are a lot of parents in this living journey that are very abusive and they feel as though no matter how much pain that they've caused in the past, they feel like, well, I'm old now and I'm on my way out of here. And so now I'm ready to act like I got some sense. Yeah, but there's a mess that you made back there that has been affecting me all of my life. And it hasn't been affecting me all of my life to the degree that I haven't been able to have relationships with people, like friendships and romantic relationships or anything like that. It hasn't affected me in that sense. It has affected my relationship with you. It has affected my relationship with you. So don't think you so tough that you has affected me, have affected my life to the degree that I'm not able to maintain relationships with other people, because that's not what the case is. But now that you're up in my face and you look around and you're not able to see any of these other people who you help influence against me, now here you come, because none of those people are anywhere around and they don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be bothered. But now here you come, and you expected me to respond in a way to where you never did anything. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into this. This is what we're going to go into, because I'm not the only person that has been through this. And like I say, my life is very transparent. It's very transparent. And it's very transparent by choice. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into this. I believe it's like 3 days ago, I created a video, and it's talking about instinctive love and established love. And the reason why I explain this so much is because of my experience and what the religion Christianity teaches of how you are to honor your parents, that their days may be long, that your days may be long upon the earth. Not in every situation is that possible, because of the way that the type of relationship that the parents have with the children. A lot of times, the type of relationship that the parents have with their children doesn't go in harmony with what that scripture talks about, what that scripture implies, and in a sense, what that scripture actually demands from the child. But what a lot of pastors don't like to talk about is because a lot of parents out there in their latter years have not established the type of relationship that puts the child in the position instinctively that they would actually be interested in executing towards the parent, because the parent haven't established the type of love that they were supposed to be able to establish because of their instinctive love. You have to establish that type of response out of the children by the way that you treat the children during the years leading up to your latter years of when you are in need for your children to take care of them. I talk about resolve a whole lot, because when those years come up to where your parents are going into their latter years, they were supposed to have already established a relationship with the children to the degree not only should the children instinctively would like to take care of their parents, but a whole lot of times when you establish the type of love that you are supposed to as a parent towards the children, those children are actually looking forward to taking care of you, because you established the type of relationship with those children to the degree that, in spite of you being older and you're not able to fend for yourself, those children are put in a position to now be the parent who has that love inside, in order for them to be willing to take care of the parent. And I'm hoping that I explained that correctly, but I'm going to explain it again. You know how your parent take care of you as a child. There's a love there. There's a compassion there. You know, they take care of you. And then as you grow up, when that parent continues to pour love into you and compassion into you and good treatment into you, in opposition of abuse, as time goes on, when you become an adult and they go through their second stage of childhood, you might as well say, because a whole lot of people say that when you become older, that's like your second childhood in terms of the organism, because the organism goes into a time just like the baby being born without teeth. We're going to lose our teeth, you know, and the baby have to grow strong. As in your latter years, your organism starts to diminish and become weak. And so when you establish that type of loving relationship with your child, when you go through that portion of your living experience as far as the organism is concerned, and you start losing, you know, your ability to fend for yourself, the same way that the child didn't have the ability to fend for themselves. And now that the child can fend for itself and you can't, then that child, simply because that child has been nourished with an established love to go in harmony with their instinctive love, they're able to tend to you the same as you tended to them when they was a child. They're able to tend to you in your latter years because you established a love towards them in their early years. I mean, that's how it operates. It operates like that. But all of that is inspired by the way that you treat your children going towards your latter years, as far as the relationship that you're having with them through the years while they're going into their adulthood. So, but if you go in opposition of the divine principles as a parent towards the child by not establishing a love inside of them, in which goes in harmony with their instinctive love towards you, then during those latter years, you can't point your finger at your children when they would rather not be bothered with you because of your cruelty in the past. However, when you have children who would rather inquire to you, Mama, Daddy, what did I do? And then in terms of your memory, and even in their memory, if you haven't done anything to warrant their treatment towards you, you're gonna like, okay, well, what happened in your life that made you like this? And then when you inquire to both parents and they say, nothing happened to me. However, you have done nothing to warrant certain behavior that puts you in a position of, well, why did you say these things? Why did you do these things? And instead of them just coming out saying because I was just wrong, and I really apologize for that. You know, I shouldn't have said those things. I shouldn't have done those things. And can we talk about it, you know, so we can get past this, you know? But when you have parents who won't even respond, because it's like at the beginning of the video, I'm ranting to my mother, trying to get her to respond. And my mother is the type of woman, she'll sit there and she'll listen to you. And she'll know that what you're saying is a fact. And she'll know that she's wrong. But she won't mumble not one word. My mother's the type of woman where if she knows that you're bleeding from wounds in which she inflicted, and you're basically telling her, Mom, help me heal from this. Help me stop the bleeding on the inside, because you're my mother and you're not supposed to hurt me like this. You know, you're not supposed to hurt me like that. Instinctively, I want you to be here with me. I want to take care of you. Instinctively, you're my mother. I want to take care of you. Not because I'm supposed to. I ain't supposed to do anything. Okay? I'm not supposed to do anything. I'm supposed to, I should want to do this. And the only way that I would be inspired to want to do this, you have to imbue that in me by the way that you've treated me in the past. This is the point to a lot of parents. Now, I had an Aunt Ruth. As a matter of fact, my Aunt Ruth Hampton was the aunt that I used to go over to her house a lot from when I was the age of 12. And I used to be up in her attic, you know, studying, you know, a whole lot of books. But my Aunt Ruth was a very mean and cruel woman during her life journey. She was loose, she was mean, she was cruel, she was vindictive, she was manipulating, and she caused a whole lot of turmoil in both of her sons' life. And not only her husband's life, Big Bill, who's my uncle, she caused turmoil in both of her sons' life. And, you know, she caused my cousin Byron, who's actually my favorite cousin. She caused him turmoil in his life and in his marriage life to the degree he ended up being an alcoholic and he drank himself to death. And so a lot of people, well, you can't blame her. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I mean, you know, it's cause and effect. Yeah, I know he's a grown man, like you black folks love to say, he's a grown man. Yeah, whatever. I understand cause and effect. Now, if y'all don't want to acknowledge cause and effect, then that's your ignorance. That's your ignorance. Yeah, I'm calling you ignorant. But the whole thing is, when you cause turmoil in people's life, it has an effect upon them. And so when he ended up losing his family behind what she helped cause in his life, he ended up being an alcoholic, and he lost control of himself. And in time, he ended up dying inside of an institution out there. And so, in her latter years, she ended up having to move out of her home because she had gotten older in her latter years, and of course. And so she was put in a whole lot of different nursing homes. And she was such a mean and cruel woman that was always moving her around to certain nursing homes. And at the same time, she was causing my other cousin, who was known as Little Bill, she caused him turmoil. And so with all of that, during her memorial service, because of the way that she's treated people through her entire life, she had at her memorial service 5 people. And 5 of these people were family members. And therefore, she didn't have anyone at her funeral. And it's only because of the way that she treated other people during the course of her life. Now, with that being said, when you mistreat people in your life, the celebration of your life, as far as the memorial is concerned, it's not to celebrate. For some people, it's just not to celebrate how great of a person they was. A lot of people are celebrating your death because you're no longer here to cause any more pain. And that's just a fact, because that's exactly the way that I feel about my father. Absolutely. Like I said, my life is very transparent. Now you may say, well, here's a man who was waiting to celebrate the death of his father. Absolutely. Because if you are living your life for one sole purpose, and if it's only to cause pain, you need to go. Because that's not what you're put on this earth to do. You're not put on this earth to cause pain in other people's lives. That's not why you're here. So, with that, I bring my Aunt Ruth up. And so now my mother, for years, I used to try to get her talk about these things. I mean, even when I mentioned on the phone about her throwing my son's footage away on the day that he was born, do you think for 1 second she said, well, I apologize about that, I was wrong? No. And this was her grandson. For a woman, okay, to say, this is footage of my grandson being born, and simply because his father won't give me $50, because in truth, his father can't give me $50, I'm going to throw my grandson's footage in the trash. And I have a husband who I'm supposed to go to if I need $50. Shouldn't I be asking my husband? Why am I asking my son? Why am I throwing my grandson's footage away when his father told me that he wanted to edit this footage so that when his son gets 21 years old, he wants to show his son the very day he came into this life. Now, this is somebody who understands the importance of this. And at the same time, she knows how important that is to you. But principally, she knows that this is very important. However, because I wasn't able to give her $50, she threw it right in the trash. Didn't mean anything to her. So she not only took it from me, but she took it from her grandson. So I wasn't in a position to where I could show my son when the very moment that he came into the world. And for what? But you heard right there on the phone call, she didn't say anything. My mother is the type of woman to where she would sit there, because not too long ago, it was years ago, she was out here. I remember one night, I sat at her kitchen table, and I was just bleeding on the inside. I was bringing subjects up, and like, wow, can we talk about this? I'm hurting right now, and I'm not the type of person to where I'm always going around talking about things. Okay, because what I mean by is that when I'm conflicted with someone, there's sometimes instinctively to where I'm loving on that person, and then there's some times where I need to talk about these things. But when you're dealing with someone who's absolutely not going to talk about it, and she knows that you're bleeding, and she can't face herself, or she's unwilling to face herself, or she's thinking that I don't have anything to face, what you're dealing with is a person that is practically dead on the inside. She's dead on the inside. And she's a example of when Peter had told Yeshua, I need to go back and bury my father. Yeshua said, suffer it be so, and you let the dead bury their dead. Suffer it be so. You have to detach yourself. You're going to go through a period to where you're going to have to suffer to detach yourself from what is commonly demonstrated emotionally, psychologically. Okay? You're going to have to let go of those people. Suffer it be so. Yeah, it's painful, but you're going to have to suffer it be so. And you let the dead bury the dead. Well, who are the dead that's burying the dead? Those people who are on their level. You let the dead bury their dead. So another thing, he's telling you, you have nothing in common with those people anymore. You have nothing in common with them. They are not your family. Who is my mother? Who is my brother? Who is my sister? Those who do the will of my Father. Okay? I totally get that, because everything is indeed of principle. Everything is principle. And this is what a lot of people are going to have to understand. And see, this is something that she understands. But when you're dealing with a person who is a narcissist, when you're dealing with a person who knows that no one owes them anything, but at the same time, she thinks through your instinctive love, she knows. And she figures that it'll be all right. He's got a good heart. It'll all work out. Because she says that all the time. Things are going to work out. Things going to work out. See, that's somebody who's taking advantage of your good heart. Instead of her helping you get past this, so it can be much easier for you to do what is necessary to make her life more pleasant. Now, you're going to suffer. And at the same time, you are going to help. You're going to rescue me from this mess that I put myself in. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't deal with narcissists. Everybody who knows David, if David has wronged you, David will come to you. And even if you come to me and you say, David, we need to sit down and we need to talk, because you hurt my feelings, thus and so. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to listen to you. And if I agree that I've wronged you, then I'm going to ask you, how has that affected you? And how has that affected your relationship with other people? Because I can't be guilty of hurting you without being guilty of hurting others in your living experience. Is it just you that I have to apologize to? Or is there other people that I have to apologize to? Now, as unrealistic as this may sound to a lot of people, I'm very much aware of this living experience and how one hurt person can sometimes hurt others because they haven't resolved their issues with the person who previously hurt them. Cause and effect, and then the effect becomes the cause. That's how it is. Now, when you're living a life where you have parents who are now getting old, they're in their latter years, they've made a whole lot of mistakes in the past towards you and others, and now they're in a situation, and it's not that they've become more enlightened. They are just in a situation that they don't want to be in. That's all it is. They don't feel any remorse or anything like that. And the reason why they don't feel any remorse is because when you bring certain subjects to them and they say, why did you do this? You know, you ask them, why did you do this? Why did you say this? What did I do? If they can't give you an answer, they think you owe them. They think that you owe them something simply because those are your parents, but you don't owe them anything. You don't owe them anything. So when it comes to that biblical stuff, honor thy father and thy mother, that your days may be long upon the earth, blah, blah, blah. Come on, y'all. Teach the facts. The parents have to establish that relationship. Instinctively, I love you. And my instinct is like, I want to take care of my mother. I want my mother around me. But if you don't establish that type of love and respect and honor inside of me, I'm on empty when it comes to times of when you're in need of my help. I'm not able to help you because it's so many things that are unresolved that you don't want to resolve. You don't want to face yourself. I'm helping you face yourself. Now I'm speaking in general for right now. So if there's anyone that's watching this who can relate to this, the only thing that we're asking them to do, let's face these issues. Let's resolve these issues so that the healing can begin, so that we will be able to be in an environment around each other, so that we can create this beautiful relationship that is supposedly be natural for the both of us to go in harmony with loving one another, so that your latter years before you leave this planet will be pleasant, because we've both worked in harmony with healing the past, so that we will be able to respond adequately in the present. It's really that simple. It's not complicated. It's really not complicated. You know, it's not complicated. But when you're dealing with parents who feel as though they don't owe you any explanation at all, even though they know that they've wronged you, but at the same time, I don't owe you anything. And now that I'm old and I'm on my way out of here, guess who's going to take care of me? You're going to do it. And a human being like me is going to tell you, no, I'm not. All of those people who you favored so much, those people who don't want to be bothered with you right now, pick up the phone and call them. Because I'm not going to sit around and allow the goodness of my heart to be used. You know? No. You're not going to use me. I'm going to utilize it on my own. But that takes resolve. It takes resolve. That's what it takes. And I'm not the only one on this planet. Because I have a Facebook friend that I communicate with sometimes. Her name is Wilma Bishop. She had the same issue with her mother. But a lot of these parents will take their madness to the grave. That's just like that movie Fences. A lot of people thought that the man was really teaching his son something, liking your ass wasn't part of the bargain. And why you worried about, he asked his father, how come you never liked me? Never liked me. So he's basically telling his father, as long as I've been on this planet, you have treated me in a way to where not only don't you love me, but you don't like me as a human being. And a whole lot of you black men out there, you overly masculine bastards. Yeah, I'm calling you bastards. That is no way to treat your son. To have your son walk around here feeling like he ain't liked by his own father, and therefore he ain't loved by his own father, because his father got beat down by the system of racism, and you looking up to a man like that? That man ain't no hero. That man is a punk. He let society and racism beat him down to the degree he didn't even know how to have a decent relationship with his son. So he's using his son as a punching bag because he didn't have enough cojones or whatever the hell y'all call it to stand up towards the system and the man who he felt like was abusing him. So he takes all of that and he starts beating on the son because he didn't have enough balls to stand up against his oppressor. Regardless of what you're going through in this life, you should never allow your son or make your son feel as though he is not loved by you or even liked by you. That's a punk way to be. You a punk. That's what you are. Because I don't care what I've been through out here in this world. Neither one of my sons are walking around feeling like their father don't like them. And then at the end of the movie, that symbolic scene where they was looking up at the sky, and symbolically the man's spirit was smiling down on them on the earth. That don't mean nothing, bro. Because when you was down here on this earth, all you gave us is hell. You give your children heaven while you're on this planet. You don't give them hell. You don't have your children walking around here feeling like they don't love, you don't love them, and let alone you don't like them as a human being. And a whole lot of you black men out there, yeah, I understand what he's talking about. Yeah, that's real. No, it ain't. That's not real at all. You don't have your sons walking around here feeling like they are not liked by you. That's not masculine. That's acting like a bitch. Raise your son to be intelligent men, not angry men. Not walking around being angry and hurt and rigid towards the world. You're supposed to raise your children to be human beings and not Frankensteins. That's what you're supposed to raise them to be. Raise them to be human beings, individuals, and not monsters. So that when you're going into your latter years right now, and when you need their help, well, come on out here, mom. Come on out here, daddy. I got you. Don't even worry about it. You want to know what the results of that is? It's the results of you establishing the love inside of them to where the Bible talks about. You get the results of honor and respect. The children do not come into the world instinctively honoring and respecting you. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's a contradiction. No, it's not. See, we have an instinctive love sitting up inside of us, which is it is a potential for us to fulfill those divine principles of loving and honor and respect. But when you establish that love on us, that's like the sun and the rain coming down and germinating on the seed to where that child can grow up loving and honoring you by the way that you treat them. If you mistreat your children, they will not love and honor you when you go into your latter years. They are not going to be there. Now, some children won't even give you the opportunity and ask why. Mama, daddy, before we go forward, so that I may know that I'm just not being used, so that I may be able to enjoy these latter years honestly with you without feeling as though I'm in conflict on the inside. Please tell me, why did you treat me this way? You have to resolve your differences with your children. There's no way around it. If you want them to be in your corner during your latter years, the way that you treat your children determines if they're going to be there for you in your latter years or not. And the biggest abuse towards the children is you imbuing in them hatred and therefore not imbuing in them the love that you were supposedly, as a parent, to imbue in them and to nourish in them. The biggest abuse towards them is you're not doing that, because their instinctive love wants to be executed, but they can't because there's too many unresolved issues. And if you're not willing to talk to them and to help them heal and stop that bleeding that you caused on the inside of them, and if they see that there's no use, you know what they're going to do? They're going to let you go. They're going to stop answering your phone calls. They're going to let you go. You want to know why? Because they have a life to live. And they don't want to live the rest of their lives angry, hurt, and all of that, because those things clutter the mind to the degree it's hard for them to be productive towards what they want to do in life. And as a writer, not only speaking for myself, but if you would study other writers, and if you have the privilege of knowing certain people who are in writing, yes, it's a privilege. And if you ask them, what type of environment does it take in order for you to have proper concentration? They will tell you, you have to have an environment that is peaceful. You have to create an environment around you that is divine. You might as well say it has to be a very beautiful and calm environment in order for you to be able to be productive, so that you can produce beautiful things to the world. But if you have people in your life that puts you in the position to where you're always in conflict with yourself, and if they know that the only thing they have to do is face, what they did, and by them knowing that you're not the type of person where while they're facing what they did in the conversation, I'm not here to condemn you. I just want an understanding. I need an apology from you. And I need a sincere apology from you. I understand maybe you were raised wrong, or maybe you are incapable of expressing that type of love, because we do have a lot of parents out there They don't know how to express it. Well, at least tell me that. Just don't go silent. Just don't go silent. Just don't sit there like, well, you're on your own. Okay, well, if I'm on my own with this, then I'll be on my own. You get yourself out of that situation, because I can help you get out of that situation. The only thing I'm asking, hey, let's talk about these things. That's pretty much it. As one of my other videos said, there can be no forgiveness without resolve. Whether it's politics or religion, a whole lot of things that you see going on in the world over in the Middle East or right over here in this Babylonian American system, the only way that peace is going to manifest, it has to be some resolve. So I'm hoping that I got my points across clearly, but I would suggest to the parents out there who are going into their latter years to consider facing yourself, forgiving yourself for what you did. And when you forgive yourself, what happens is the creator and the universe imbues compassion and intelligence in you to where you're able to pick up the phone or go to them, and you are at peace saying, look, we need to talk. Let's get past this so that we can enjoy one another with what time we are blessed to have. Let's get past it. Because I don't want you to let me go. And I know you don't want to let me go. But we have to get past this. If we're going to be in each other's lives, we have to be in each other's lives in a way to where there's no conflict on the inside. And then you don't have to worry about me having good days towards you and then having real bad days towards you. And then you have the nerve to sit up there like, what's wrong? You know what's wrong. And no one wants to live like that. No one wants to live like that. So that's why my channel talks about healing, and my life is very transparent, because I'm not the type of person, I don't care. I don't care how people see me. You know, people who respond like that, my content is not for you. And I'm on here relating to the people who understand exactly what I'm talking about. I'm on here to talk about different issues that a whole lot of people may find uncomfortable to talk about, but I put myself out there, and I'm pretty certain I'm not the only one, but I put myself out there, and I don't look at myself as risking putting myself out there, because I'm not worried about that. You can attack me, but you ain't gonna win the debate. You're not gonna win. Okay? Because I'm not out here to make enemies, and I'm not out here to make friends either. I'm just out here sharing what I know. And if a lot of people may say, well, he out here sharing his personal business, it's my personal business. I can do what with my I can do whatever the hell I want with my life experience. I could either share it with you or not. I mean, this is my experience. I don't have to share it if I don't want to, you know. But as I say at the end of all of my videos, with all of that being said, I hope that this helps someone who is able to relate to this. And if some of you are not able to relate to this, and you're still generous enough to sit and listen, I really appreciate it. And if you do know someone in your life who you think that this could be helpful towards, share the video with them, because it's all about healing. That's what it's all about. It's all about healing, because life is healing. And like I always say, when we're hurting, we're in a process of healing. And what that means is that healing is an activity. I'm healing, which implies I'm still alive. I'm not dead. And I'm healing while I'm hurting. If you fall down and you break a bone, or anytime you're in pain, it only means that you're healing all at the same time. Because the Creator puts a healing element inside of hurting. And this is the reason why those two go in harmony. I'm hurting because I'm healing. I'm healing because I'm hurting. So we're talking about a process of time, a measurement of time, to where the hurt gets less because the healing is present. So there's a communication effort there. There's a communication principle there. And this is one of the primary reasons why I encourage a lot of you to communicate with one another. Sit down at the table. Talk about it, mama. Talk about it, daddy. Talk about it, sister. Talk about it, brother. Uncle, nephew. Whoever you're having problems with in your family or outside of your family. Men, if there's a ex-woman out there that you've hurt, call her and apologize to her. And even if she would rather not talk to you about it, accept it. But one of the reasons why she may not want to talk to you about it, you may have to live with the fact that you helped create that. And even if she keeps hanging up the phone, send her an email, something like that, and just admit, hey, look, what I did to you was wrong, and I'm taking this time to apologize. Now, whether you accept it or not, at least I put forth the effort to resolve this matter. It's the thing of remaining human. Stay human. That's all you have to do. It's just a part of being a human being. It's not as complicated as most people make it. It's just being a human being. That's all it is. Being a human being. And get rid of all of these expectations and these demands on others simply because you're a parent. Because it takes someone who understands what being human is in order to be willing to sit down at the table and talk about how we're going to go about healing this. Put everything on the table. And until that's being done, and until that's gotten, and until everyone has gotten past that, you won't be able to move forward. But what takes being willing to heal a certain situation, it takes love. You can't tell me that you love me, but you're not willing to face yourself so that we both can face one another and get past this. So with all of that being said, like I said previously, I hope that this helped someone. And so, as I said before, it's very important to remain human, a member of humanity. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, Christian, Muslim, it doesn't matter. When it all boils down to it, we are responsible for one another. We are responsible for one another's hurt, and we're also responsible for one another's healing. So with all of that being said, I just hope that someone got something out of this. And if you want to leave any comments, or if you don't want to leave any comments, that's fine. But if you bump into anyone who you feel that this will be of some use to, then just go ahead and share the video, because I'm about healing. I'm not about being famous here on YouTube. I just know how very powerful healing is. And I'm only interested in one thing, is doing my part to make this beautiful planet that I live on, which is our home, a better place to live. So that's all I'm really concerned about. So with that being said, I leave this conversation by saying, stay human. Okay? Y'all have a good night. Peace.